Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, coming to you live every single week from the Greatness Factory where we manufacture greatness. And I've been wanting to do this show for a long time because if you heard all of the bad excuses I hear out in the market, if you just travel with me, and here's what I've come to the conclusion. Bad excuses always follow lousy results. So in today's show, I'm going to show you how to create a personal consequence when you don't hit your goals. I'm going to show you what is standing in the way between you and your destiny. And I'm going to try to encourage you to make up your mind today that you will never allow another person an excuse. You will never allow something outside of yourself to stand between you and your destiny. We will no longer allow self-proclaimed opt-out clauses to stand between us and our real potential. I'm Coach Michael Burt. This is Super Coach. Bad excuses always follow lousy results. Come on, let's have some fun. Hey guys, this is Coach Michael Burt. I am so glad you joined me for Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have, make you do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you didn't think you could become. You see, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't reach your own potential without the help of another person helping you break through those ceilings of success. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and I'm going to find the kryptonite in your life, and I'm going to do it on this show, Super Coach. What's up, guys? Coach Michael Burt, Super Coach, live from the Greatness Factory here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Been in some meetings today down in Nashville with Superior Bill, Jason Leonard, his group, who are constructing our new Greatness Factory, and it is going to blow your freaking mind. The design, the dimensions, and what it has on the inside of it. Lord, for many years, God had placed on my heart to have a Greatness Factory, and here's the deal. We make excuses. And the excuses I hear in a week is I don't have enough time. I'm busy. I'm overwhelmed. It'll take too long. It'll cost too much. It'll be too hard. I'm too old to get started. I'm too young to get started. And I love working with salespeople who always have a lousy excuse. Bad excuses always follow lousy results. Okay? And so what I'm here to do today is to really get you in this mindset of this, is to never allow anybody else or anything else to stand between you and your destiny. Okay? I got to get you in this mindset. Okay? All the people out there watching me right now, I got to get you in this mindset that nothing, no thing, no person, no external thing, no economy, no regulation. And I really started thinking about this because last week I was in Kansas City and I was speaking to financial advisors, and half the group was pissed off because of the Department of Labor regulation. Half the group was mad because, they're just not playing at a very high level. There's a manager's fault. And many of those people were relying on bank tellers, people that sit inside banks, to send them business. And they were frustrated because they were not getting enough business from those bank tellers. And the city president, or the president of the whole bank, came to me on one of the breaks and said to me, Coach, we have a customer base of 250,000 customers. If we just picked up the phone and called these people and sold them something and had conversation, he said, but here's the deal. We can't get some of the people in this room to even call them. I said, give me that list, brother. I will hit that list every day. You give me a customer base of 250,000 customers, and you may not have 250,000, but you may have 10, 15, 20, 25. You're not calling on them. You're not spending time with them. You're not loving on them. And you got some kind of excuse. It's so easy. I don't feel like calling people today. I don't feel like prospecting today. I don't feel like getting out of bed today. My wife was mad at me. My dog was mad at me. If you heard some of the excuses I hear in a week as a coach, okay? So you got to first ask yourself this question. What is my destiny? If I don't know what your agreement with the universe is, I don't know what your agreement with the planet is. If your agreement is to impact millions and millions of people, you sure as heck get caught up in little bitty excuses. Okay? So what is an excuse? It is a self-proclaimed opt-out clause. And you know what that is? You are capable of doing it. You know you should do it. You could do it. You got the talent to do it. You just ain't doing it. Think about all the people out there right now that have the talent to do it. They're capable of doing it, but some inertia has set in. They're static, or they're entropic, or they're stuck, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, do it, man. Do it. Go get it. And so for you, common excuses. You got to ask yourself, what common excuses am I using? Here's what I hear. I see some real estate agents who are on here watching me right now, insurance agents. Here's some common excuses. They're not interested. They're not buying. They're completely happy. Here's one a lot of real estate agents use. Somebody else owns the market. I don't represent high-end buyers. I only represent first-time buyers. They got a bigger budget than I do. They got bigger brand recognition. All BS. All baloney. You understand what I'm saying? It don't matter if they got a bigger budget. It don't matter, Leo Martinez. Okay, that phone ain't going to call out on its own, man. You know that, right? So here's what I got to do. We got to eliminate the excuse. And the excuse is I could have, I should have, but I didn't. Okay? I could have, I should have. And I think one of the greatest regrets at the end of a person's life is I could have, I should have, I was capable of, but I did not do. Okay? And so I even think about in the Bible the story of the pool of Bethesda. I mean, Jesus walks up to that's where the lame and crippled and everybody was right there at the pool of Bethesda, and the angel came down and made their water healing water. And Jesus comes down and asks the crippled person, do you want to be made well? Do you want to get better, yes or no? And it's almost like he's saying, man, just roll into the pool. Just roll, just take action, man. And I think he's asking us that a lot. Do you want to get better or not? Do you want to take action or not? What excuse have you got today? Well, you didn't hit your sales numbers, so what's your excuse today? Here's what it is. Well, it's June. Coach, everybody's on vacation. Nobody's buying anything. We already got this, okay? Scott Abernathy said excuses are like what? I know what you're thinking, Scott. Here's the deal. When you meet big-time people, they're not interested in your excuses because they always find a way. Big producers always find a way. Miniature producers always find an excuse, okay? And in today's world, guys, we just don't have time. Clayton Tank Whitaker, do we? We don't have time to listen to bad excuses because of lousy results. You cannot walk in and tell an employer that you are the best at what it is you do. You will turn this thing around. You will make yourself a national name and not deliver on the goods, okay? So we got to get you out of this low-frequency mindset. When we come back in segment number 2, I'm going to talk about creating a high consequence because I do know this. Where there's no consequence, there's no change of behavior. And I've been coaching the people today, and I said, give your own self a consequence. You don't need a consequence from your manager. You don't need a consequence from your wife. You don't need a consequence from your employer. Give yourself a consequence when you don't perform. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here. And I heard a guy say this. I think it was Dan Elam said this one time, who's in our coaching program. He said, everybody out there wants what another person has, but they ain't willing to take the action that they got to do to have it. You got to claim it, and you got to go get it. Everybody wants to be successful, but they ain't willing to do what it takes to get it. And here's what I know. Excuses are low-wasted, negative frequency. Either you want it or you don't. Roll into the pool if you want it. Do something. Take action. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to use consequences to get something done. You watch a Super Coach, and I'm Coach Michael Burt. Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt. I'm the Super Coach, and you know what I believe? I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I also believe a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skill sets to dominate a market. And that's why I'm bringing my biggest coaching program, my monthly, consistent, every 30-day coaching program to both Knoxville, Tennessee and Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's right, the Super Coach is coming to Knoxville every single month so I can get 30 to 40 high achievers in a room and coach them for an hour and a half every month on what? How to better explain their services, how to work a selling system, how to have $1 million follower, how to create an experience that drives 5.7 referrals. You see, the average growth in Monster Producer, my big coaching program, is 43% per year. That means the people we're coaching are growing their business that much. I'll bring the energy. I'll bring the structure. I'll bring the accountability. All you got to do is bring yourself. Beginning April 26th, I'm coming to Knoxville, Tennessee and Chattanooga, Tennessee for Monster Producer. Will you be there? Welcome back, Super Coach. Man, I'm having a lot of fun doing this show today. I told Bill Maddox, my director of sales managers are going to love this one. Send this puppy out to all the sales managers out there because they going to love, all the excuses a sales manager hears in a week when people don't hit their sales goals. Okay, here's the deal. Don't be a person that throws out excuses when you don't hit your goal. Here's the best thing you can say. I didn't get it done. For whatever, I wasn't on my A game. I didn't deliver the goods. I remember giving a presentation once at Roscoe Brown, one of my clients in Murfreesboro. And, man, I was bad. It was just a bad experience. All the technicians left. Then they brought them back in. They were all mad at me. I got mad at them. And, man, it just went downhill from there. And I remember calling Norman Brown, and I said, Norman, man, let me give you a free session. Because I was bad. He didn't have to call me. I said, I want to own up to it. I'm not giving you some excuse. They got mad at me. They left. It was all their fault. When you can't get another person on the phone, you need to say it's my fault. I accept full responsibility. I couldn't get your attention. When you can't make a sale, you need to go to your boss and say, look, it's my fault. I didn't get it done. I didn't have enough people on my hit list. My farm club wasn't fat enough. I didn't work my top 25. I couldn't close this month. Bad excuses always follow lousy results. And you can't be known. I see Will Webb out there, Thomas Love, Leo Martinez, Pastor John Spurgeon, Dale Childers, Tyler Asher, Eric White, Dawn O'Neill, Kyle Hendricks, Alex, and Ashley. Here's the deal. We got to eliminate this. So remember this. You got a destiny. Never let another person, never let something outside of yourself stand between you and your destiny that God called you to. Okay? Just remember this. An excuse is a self-proclaimed opt-out clause. Quit making them. Okay? Quit making them. Common excuses you make, what are they? I hear them over and over and over. It's too hard. It'll take too long. It'll be too hard. We don't have enough money. We're not ready. We're too little. We're not big enough. Whatever. I'm too short. I'm too tall. Too skinny. Too fat. Don't matter what the excuse is, man. What you got to do is get off the excuse. So here's what I find. Here's what I believe. Where there's no consequence, there's no change of behavior. Where there's no consequence, there's no change of behavior. And sometimes consequence on my team is just dealing with me. Just having to deal with me come in and be upset and unhappy if we don't hit our sales goals. So my point to you is, why set a target if you're not going to hit it? Some people in sales set a target every single month and they never hit it. And there's never a consequence. Nobody gets fired. Nobody gets in trouble. Nobody gets something taken away from them. Now, with our 5-year-old daughter, it's simple. We say, look, no pool time for you. No television for you. No this for you. Even a 5-year-old has consequences, but there's no consequences for a lot of salespeople. So there's both good consequences and bad consequences. And a bad consequence is, hey, when you don't hit your targets, we're going to take something away from you. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's your phone. Maybe it's your office. Maybe it's leads. Something. Because I see some people, this is particularly bad in a lot of places. I see some people never hit their sales goals and there's no consequence. They're doing one deal a month. They're sucking out all the life and energy out of the group. They're making the brokers and the leaders and the managers crazy, but nobody's having any conversation with them whatsoever. Here's what you say. You get your butt in gear. We hired you because you told us you were good. You told us there were certain things you could do. Now go do it. Okay, I'm not babysitting you. I'm not psyching you up. I'm not trying to motivate you. This is your job, okay? This is what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're out there in the world, Ivan Velasquez, here's the point. There's two things I got to tell you. Create a consequence for yourself. You don't hit your sales goals this month, you don't go to Longhorn on Friday night. You go to Burger King. You don't hit your sales goals this month, okay? You don't get to buy something new. Your wife don't get a new purse. You don't get to get a new car. Okay, take something away. Say, look, this is a personal consequence. If you don't work out this morning, don't eat a Twinkie tonight, okay, when you get home. My point is, take something away, and that's really a big problem, okay? That's really a big problem. If you're watching this today, share it with other people, because bad excuses permeate our society. Bad excuses permeate our society, okay? Share this with your friends because a lot of people need to hear this message. So what are good consequences? We hit our goals. We get to keep our job. What's the whole thing? Hey, steak knives for second place. Third place, you get fired. You know what I'm saying? First place is you get to keep your job and steak knives. Second place, you get this. Third place, you're out of here. So when you think about it, there are good consequences. Let me tell you the consequences I like. The self-satisfaction of knowing that we set and achieve a target. When I was a coach, I had one goal. That was to be a championship coach. I didn't want to be a third place, a fourth place, a fifth place. Didn't matter how many times I went out there and won ball games until I was a championship coach. It didn't matter. But when I was a championship coach, you know, the self-satisfaction of setting and achieving a dominant focus, of standing in the corridor of our dreams, of doing something nobody else had done at that point in 84 years in the city of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, of being the first coach to win a championship there, of writing the first book. And some people say, well, I need accountability. I need accountability. No, you don't. You need self-discipline. You don't need accountability. Self-discipline is where you become a disciple to your own future. The word discipline is a derivative of the word disciple, which means to give yourself to a person or a cause you believe in. Everybody with me? Boom. I'm going to hit my own little thing. Look at me hitting my own thing on here. Okay? I'm hitting my own little button, my own little emoji. You with me? So if you don't have self-discipline, discipline has to be imposed on you. Let me see what Roy Fraser said. Roy said, I had a sales manager, and if you didn't hit your goals, he would give you a book title, How to Write a Better Resume. I like it, Roy. I like it. Listen, I know sales managers on Wall Street, they show up for work. If their shoes ain't shined, they say, go downstairs and shine your shoes because you can't sell anything on the phone with scuffed up shoes. You with me? So when I hear a person say, I need accountability, I need this, I need that, what they're really saying to me is I'm operating at a very low frequency. Right, John Spurgeon? Right, Richard Pearl? Right, Kyle Hendricks? What they're really saying is, man, I'm operating at a very low frequency. So I need you to babysit me. Let me tell you something. Coach Bird don't hire people like that. I do not hire people that need babysitting. I hire people that come with batteries included who accept full responsibility for their lot in life. That's called proactive. Okay? It ain't the face cream we're talking about either. This is people who say, I want to be the best. So here's the deal. Some people become numb to success. There was a guy in my session last week probably making $250, numb to success. I hate it when people call me by my last name. It's like disrespectful, you know? And this guy's like, what's up, Bert? What's up? I'm like, I don't know you, and you don't know me. Don't call me by my last name. You can call me Michael. You can call me Coach. I don't call you by your last name, but it's just an air of arrogance, you know? And I'm like, I don't know what you're producing, but I guarantee it ain't that much. I guarantee it ain't as much as you think it is. So here's what happens to some people. There's no consequence because they're reaching a level, and there's a complacency there that they can't break through, but they don't want anybody to give them any feedback. It's like you can't give them feedback because of how good they think they are. Okay? Now, I see people producing 10 or 20 times the level those people are producing, and I'm thinking in my mind, Jack, you ain't that good, man. You may be that good, not you, Jack, but that Jack. I'm like, you ain't really that good, okay? So I could show you somebody else producing a lot more than you. Look at them emojis. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. You see what I'm saying there? So for you, sometimes we become numb to success. Success loses its meaning. It gets boring. And so what happens is we start making excuses when we don't go to the next level. Oh, I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to give my whole life to work. You don't have to work that hard. You don't have to give your whole life to be successful. It's an excuse. It's a built-in excuse you're making going, oh, I only want to make about $250 a year. I'm completely happy. I don't want to do all that stuff. Listen, you hit a lid. Just admit it and quit making excuses why you can't go from $250 to $500, okay? Let's call it what it is. Let me give you some kryptonite. And in the final segment, what's standing in the way? I got 4 things standing in the way of you being what you're capable of becoming. Aaron and Amanda Lawson. Here's what we got. Here's your kryptonite. You tolerate excuses with no high consequences. Where there's no consequence, there's no change of behavior. Okay? Bad excuses follow lousy results. Where there's no consequence, there's no change of behavior. Take something away from your own self. I don't get to vacation. Listen, I was in the office this Monday at 6:30 in the morning. You know why? We ain't hit our sales goal yet. So I'm pushing. I'm on the phone. I'm calling. I'm working. I'm going to past clients. I'm doing everything I can to hit my numbers because guess what? I discipline my own self. I don't need discipline from anybody else. I am a disciple to my own future. Nothing standing between me and my destiny. Especially not some lousy excuse. Come on back in the final segment. We having fun today. Hey, this is Coach Michael Burt, and have you ever been to a retreat where you got to get away from the pressure of the world and just talk business, talk ideas, but also mix business with pleasure? You see, a few weeks ago, I spent time in Seaside, Florida with some of my good friends, and man, I had so many breakthroughs. I was able to reimagine my business, and I said, I have got to create a way for people to come together and go on a retreat with me. So we've developed the Super Retreat with the Super Coach, September 23rd through the 26th, or September 27th through the 30th. Seaside, Florida, 4 days with me and other like-minded people. We'll mastermind in the morning. We'll spend time by the pool drinking margaritas and having fun in the afternoon and going to dinner with each other at night. $2,500 investment. That includes your lodging and the mastermind and your lunches. And then we spend the rest of the time working on your business. Now here's the deal. I can only take 10 people at each of these nice big houses. Everybody gets their own bedroom. That $2,500 includes 2 people. If you like to bring a friend or your spouse, come to Seaside with me in September and go on the Super Retreat with the Super Coach. And I promise you, you'll have the big ideas you needed and the refreshment you needed to finish the year strong. Hey guys, welcome back, Super Coach. Big Kahuna thought I forgot him today. Jack, Big Kahuna thought I forgot him today. I didn't forget you, Big Kahuna. Don't you worry, brother. We don't ever forget the Big Kahuna. Shane Ray, monster producer. Got a little whippersnapper on the way. Having a new baby. Congratulations to you. Just call aloha.com. Don't ever think I forget about you, big guy. I was just saving the best for last. Just call aloha.com. It's hot outside. Shane Ray, I got you some business down in Tampa, Florida, my man. I was on the phone with Adam Wright, one of our big monster producers, and he said in Tampa it is smoking. He needed the Big Kahuna down there. Fix his heating and cooling unit. We're going to take that thing worldwide. Just call aloha.com, proud sponsor of the Super Coach Show. And he's a monster producer. And he takes something that's boring and makes it interesting. Just call aloha.com if your heating and cooling needs are met. And if you need a little entertainment, because the Big Kahuna shows up with his Big Kahuna hat. I got mine sitting in my office right over there. And he's got a new little Kahuna on the way, so congratulations with you. All right, what do we got? Are you done with your excuses? I don't know about you, but a lot of times I do these shows, JC Moore, and I start saying, what excuses am I using? Because I've been using some excuses. And excuses are they got a bigger budget than me. The excuses are, well, I like them, so I don't need to fire them. The excuses are, well, you know, we've kind of pushed as hard as we can. Excuses are, it's this or it's that. Bad excuses follow lousy results. Quit tolerating them. So how do you quit tolerating them? There's a consequence. Where there's no consequence, there's no change of behavior. Okay, what did I tell you? Never let another person or an outside entity or regulation or whatever, or the market or economy, stand between you and your destiny. So there are 4 things I want to finish with today that are standing between you and your destiny. Okay, there are 4 things that are standing between you and your destiny. Number 1, you and your lousy excuses. That's the first thing standing between you and your destiny, is you and your lousy excuses that you use. Now, here's the worst part. A lot of people around you enable those excuses. So not only are you giving excuses to yourself, your friends and family and coworkers and managers are allowing it. And if you allow it, what happens? You encourage it. If you got call reluctance and people allow it, it's the sales manager's fault. If you got a dirty restaurant, it's the sales manager's fault. Okay? So here's what I want you to know. You have got to say, listen, no excuses. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care how you got to do it, as long as it's legal, ethical, moral. You are great at what it is you do. Now get that puppy across the finish line, okay? Number 2, the environment that you can't thrive in. So let's say you are on fire. You are incredibly hot for something. You are incredibly good, but you're just in a very apathetic environment. And I can't tell you how many people I see every week that are in very bad environments. I've been in bad environments before. Sometimes I coach people in bad environments, and I'm like, man, y'all allow this. You encourage what you allow, okay? Number 3, low tolerance for inconvenience. You got a very low tolerance. You heard me last week say long obedience in the same direction. That ain't your problem. Your problem is you got a low tolerance for inconvenient things. If you're going to be very successful, you got to have a high tolerance for the inconvenient, because success is incredibly inconvenient. And here's number 4. Your targets are just too low. And because of that, you can't even get excited about them. Okay? It's not even big enough for you to fight through. And I see some people, their targets are so low, they won't fight through adversity to get there because it ain't big enough. It ain't juicy enough. It ain't exciting enough. And so here's what I would tell you. Have a goal so big that people want to take it from you or keep you from having it. If your goals ain't big enough for somebody to try to take it from you or keep you from having them, your goals are too small. Therefore, you make little bitty excuses. And as somebody told me the other day, thought it was interesting who told me this, because he's majoring in the minors. He told me not to major in the minors, and you can't go big if little got you. And the person told me that is eat up with very little, okay? Let me finish with kryptonite, guys. If you're not a monster producer, why not? Let me challenge you today, guys. We're showing a 43% growth rate. A lot of the top people who are on here saw Will Webb, Andy Warner, Clay Whitaker. All of the people who are really producing out there in the world are in Monster Producer. Go to monsterproducer.com. Next class is July 6th in Cool Springs, July 7th. If you want to sit in on the class for free, I might have 1 or 2 spots to let you in, let you just taste it, let you see it, let you see if you want to play with the big girls and big boys. Here's going to be excuse. I ain't got $399. I ain't got $399. You go to Longhorn every Friday night. Okay, you wasting time on beer, cigarettes, goofing off. You got $399. You just ain't serious about your potential. That's just an excuse. We don't need to talk about $400,000 if you can't talk about $400,000. Everybody with me here? We don't need to talk about $4 million if you can't talk about $400,000. So you got to get your mind out of the excuse gutter, and you got to really get your ball game up if you want to play at the next level. Here's my final kryptonite today. Quit allowing those closest to you and on your team to make excuses. Never allow somebody or something external from you to stand between you and the destiny that God has called you to. Take action. Every single week, I come to you live from the Greatness Factory. Come see me step into your greatness, guys. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I believe a good coach can change your life. It's time for you to get off the fence and quit using lousy excuses, okay, that are followed by real bad results, and vice versa. Bad results, lousy excuses, it all goes hand in hand. Everybody needs a good coach, guys. I had a lot of fun with you today. Come on back next week on Super Coach. My name is Coach Michael Burt, and I have a very basic premise. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. Every single week I come to you, multiply your life and your money and your business. It's about seeing something through to its logical conclusion. It's about going from a little baby star to a big star and practicing and getting better and digging in and fighting through. I see work as the distribution channel for your God-given talents. How many people believe behind every great number 1 is a great number 2? I wrote that little book called Changing Lives Through Coaching because I believe what? A good coach can change your life.